Yo, what is up, everybody? So this is the first episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So I just want to talk to you guys a little bit before the first episode. Basically, I'm just really pumped to finally make this thing happen, which I really appreciate you guys clicking on this and checking it out. I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time, but basically, this is the first episode. So again, it's only going to get better and more interesting and just overall a better experience for you guys and for us as we move forward and get more episodes into this. But episode 2 and beyond will be bangers, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. So without further ado, guys, let's roll the intro. Let's go.
Enemy nuke incoming! We're done!
What is up, everyone? This is the first episode, the inaugural episode of the Best of 3 Call of Duty Esports Podcast. I'm Josh, SalvationsElite. This is Sam to my right, X-Bash, Bash, all names all over the board. And we got Rex, ShadyNero on the screen next to us right now. He'll be joining us at some point in person, but for now, he'll be online. We're excited to make it happen, and we are looking forward to being like a weekly thing. And so we're excited. What's going on, Sam? What's going on, Rex? How you guys doing?
Doing well. My
Doing
back is
fantastic.
killing me. And I might moan
Nice.
at some point during this podcast.
Oh, my. Wow.
Are we out here?
So-
We're here for it. Let's do it.
That's right. Yeah. So for all of you guys out there, the first podcast, we're going to be going over a lot in this episode. First of all, you guys can find us on YouTube, which is where, if you guys are watching us right now in person, that's what's happening. We're on YouTube. We're also on Spotify right off the rip. And then Apple Podcasts will be coming this week as well. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll be all over the place. So we're trying to get everywhere as quick as possible, as easy as possible, and make it accessible. So obviously there's going to be a lot of improvements as we keep going along. And as the year moves on, we're going to keep improving this thing over and over, like better equipment, better, all in person segment soundboard, which I'm going to be working on too. So a lot's coming. And today we're going to be talking about the pro teams, the best teams, some of the dark horses. And we also have a little draft segment at the end here, which we're excited to do. We're drafting we're drafting a battle royale of the 12, mascots of the Call of Duty League. So I'm looking forward to it all. And I think without further ado, we can get right into the first segment of the show.
Absolutely.
So I think first question we can start off with is, who's the best team in the Call of Duty League this year? What team are you most excited to watch? What team do you think is going to be taking it home? Take it away, Rex.
All right. Well, obviously the best team is looking like the Dallas Empire by a lot. They've been... I think Clayster even tweeted out how, the AM teams are even harder than some of the pro teams. And from what I've seen from scrims from other teams, they are struggling against AM teams. But I think Dallas for sure is the number one pick for me. They're super powerful right now.
Yeah, how do you not pick Empire at this point? Their scrims are looking amazing. You've got Crim 6, who seems to be out for blood at this moment, and Clay
Embracing the villain role.
Embracing the villain role as always.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want to say Chicago Huntsman. I'm a big Formal fan myself, but they're not looking like how I thought they would right off the bat. I'm hoping it's just some meshing issues. It's just you got some big personalities on that team, but I think they're definitely someone to watch. But I think it's hard to deny at this point that Dallas Empire is the number one team right now.
So not counting the Dallas Empire, who do we think is a contender? Who's actually somebody who's going to compete with Dallas Empire right now? Because to me, in my mind, they're almost like God tier and then everybody else. Honestly, they really seem to be that good. They kind of destroy people without even trying.
I feel like Atlanta FaZe has been getting slept on. I think it's just because they're younger. They don't have the Clayster. They don't have the Crim. They don't have the Scump or the Formal. But, they've got the Priesta. They've got the Simp. They got the Abiz. They've got a nice roster. And they've been playing really, really well. I think I've been really enjoying watching their scrims. And they're a type of team that, once they get this game figured out, they're going to be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already been playing well. And I think as the year moves along, with the younger roster, just naturally it's going to take a little bit longer to get used to the game.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that LA OpTic's kind of definitely been like the growing pains of that.
Mhm.
Definitely been experiencing that versus FaZe, who seems to kind of like figure things out a little bit quicker. But I think FaZe is the team that has like poses the biggest threat to Dallas off the rip.
One thing we might talk about later too, but like London Royal Ravens. I mean, you got Wisconsin Scraps on that team who are phenomenal Black Ops 4 players. Then of course you got Dylan, who, I mean, I feel like his breakout year was last year. I mean, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was debatably a top 5 player of last year. For sure.
But I think that team's going to be a pretty top contender. I don't know how they have been performing in scrims.
Well, that's the thing. They haven't been streaming them. Yeah, we have no clue how the European teams have been playing right now, which is kind of like they've got to be the biggest X factor when it comes to the league.
Yeah.
Think like who are they scrimming against? They're only
Right.
I mean, they have Paris is the only other pro team that they could scrim against, and after that's the AM scene, and we all know how the European AM scene is.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm definitely worried about both the European teams at this point. But I don't know, Sam. Like, what are your thoughts?
Because then you got to think about Seattle. You got Karma, you got Apathy, you got Octane. Again, they seem to be doing, I mean, average, above average in scrims.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, but then again, you've got the GOAT Karma. You've got Octane again, who is phenomenal on 100th Day. He's just, I mean, debatably one of the best ARs in the game. And Black Ops 4. And then, Enabler always seems to be on fantastic teams. I mean, whatever. But I don't know. I mean, it's just hard. Like you said, Rex, you're right. When you compare him against Dallas Empire, it just seems like a tier above everyone else. It's kind of hard to,
What do you think makes Dallas a tier above everyone else right now? Like, what about
the leadership? The leadership and the young talent.
Like how that pairs together?
Well, I think in the way they're kind of like, and I don't know if you saw like, and I hate to like keep saying things about Clayster, but Clayster had that tweet with the long thing about what Astralis does with Counter-Strike, and they're more people need to realize that, and even if they don't do exactly what that is, the fact that they have that mindset and like they see that and saw that as noteworthy means that they're forming a team in that sort of like family cohesion sort of way. And I think that separates a lot of the other teams.
Yeah. I was going to say too, like, I think there's a fire underneath them,
There's definitely a fire under Crim 6, that's for sure.
One of the things I was worried about with Chicago Huntsman, and I think I mentioned it to you, Josh, too, before, was you're putting these god tier players with each other. You got Scump, you got Formal, you got Arcides, Gunless. One of the things, though, is what we saw with Gunless in Black Ops 4 was he was, I mean, maybe one of the best players on the field in the game, but when it came down to it, he didn't have the fire, the same fire. Like it just seemed like he didn't want to be out there. And
I'm a little worried about that with the Huntsman right now, because it doesn't feel like especially Gunless specifically likes the game. Yeah, and we know he loved World War II and how he played competitively.
He was the one that was playing pubs in World War II when no one else was.
Yeah, that's the thing. And he literally tweeted that he wasn't playing pubs in this game because he hated it so much. Which makes me worried about how Gunless plays. And when Gunless isn't in the right mindset, we've seen how that can go with teams, which gets me a little worried about that roster. Yes. Because he kind of seems to be like the most in-game vocal leader for them right now when you're watching scrims.
Yeah, and that's for sure.
If he's not in the right mindset, I get worried about that team.
Absolutely.
Just because of that. Just that alone.
Absolutely.
I've been most surprised by Illy's ability in respawn. I was definitely a little skeptical, because he was kind of known as the S&D god, and the wagers god, and all coming into the scene. But he's been fantastic, and maybe that has to do with how Clayster and Crim command the map. Yep. But I was definitely worried with how him and Shotzi would play together, and it's been flawless, which was so surprising. I really thought that might be a bigger problem than it ended up being.
Yeah, I mean it definitely goes to show when you have raw talent like that, like Rex, you were saying, paired with Clayster and Crim 6, who can coach them into respawn. You could be seeing these guys just meshing so well together, and again, that goes in the argument of why they're such a god tier team too. Which is crazy, but
yeah, no, I agree. I did like going into the year, I was most surprised by how good Dallas Empire was more than almost anything else.
Yeah,
because like you can kind of like understand why like LA OpTic's not playing well right now, and you can understand, those problems there. But like I was just surprised by how good Dallas Empire was when like Krim and Clay were like good players last year, but they were by no means like superstars when it came to like the stat sheet.
Yep.
And so for them to like be playing really well right now and like leading the teams in certain maps and like playing really well is like good to see for them, and that's why they've been so good.
Yeah, I think it was pretty. Some people got in the mindset that he kind of got carried to that champs victory by all the young guys on that team. But
Yeah,
I think he's showing that he's still got that raw talent in him. I mean, it's kind of hard to deny when they're performing that well. And Sim's not on the team, Abisi's not on the team, RC's not on the team. So
I think he just knows how to create a good environment. And like,
Yeah.
that's kind of like, not the game itself like COD, but like I feel like it's a really big part of it.
yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, on Twitter he was complaining about how they weren't practicing on OpTic and how he was the one trying to get him to practice, and even Scump said that like Krim was always pushing so hard, and like part of the reason why they never got like chill and never got to hang out anymore because Krim was pushing so hard during World War II to get better, and like Formal will talk about that too, like in their podcast. I mean, you're right. Krim's fire is lit.
Yep.
We'll see how that works. Like, I mean, OpTic came out last year. They won the first tournament, and then they lost that drive to like practice hard.
Yep.
And Dashy and TJ got egos, and supposedly.
Yeah.
And it just felt, but it did feel like they lost the drive to win as much as they had going into the year. And so hopefully, if for like Empire's sake, if they maintain that chip on their shoulder, which I think Clay kind of always has that chip.
Absolutely.
He has that fiery energy, but we'll see how that plays like moving forward for sure.
Yeah, I think there was a Reddit post kind of talking about, is this the same thing that we've seen on repeat where Crim 6 has looked so good in the preseason
At the beginning of the season,
and then for some reason just falls off. Whether that's him being able to know the meta beforehand
and better at adapting
quicker.
Just adapt, dude.
Exactly. while the other teams just come in and slowly learn, but they eventually get it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It's kind of hard to say that he's gonna not perform well when, I mean, again, they're just looking so good right now.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I think with that, we can move on to a team that you think is like a dark horse. I know you mentioned the Seattle Surge already, but I think they're definitely the biggest dark horse because
I agree. I think they can be really good.
I don't know why the hype's so low on them right now. It's just because they're not like the sexy team. They're not the Huntsman. Yeah. They're not Dallas Empire. They're not like making the drama that LA OpTic's making.
Yeah.
And like they're all just full of like Class A professionals. I mean,
yeah.
And people really hate on Slacked. I think that's part of it too. I will say I was a little bit surprised. Like, we have never seen Karma play with like these guys before, and so I was a little bit surprised with that, like how that worked out. And like Karma and Enable on the same team definitely is weird because it feels like they played a lot of the same roles the past 2 years. Which we'll see how that kind of plays into how this like meta is with on Warfare. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you have a guy like Apathy, you got a guy like Octane, and then you've got the Karma, you got Enable, and you've got Slack. I feel like they're just a team that's underestimated a lot, and I like them a lot as a squad. Yeah, they might end up using those specialists in that way, like for Search and Destroy, and how that might work. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah, I mean, overall, I just think they have a lot to offer. Seattle does, and like if Apathy can get anywhere near his like Black Ops 3 form, they're gonna be a nasty team.
Yeah.
But I think a lot rides on Apathy, like kind of rising back to his like levels of Black Ops 3, which we'll see if that's possible because he was really good in like Black Ops 3 IW. Yeah.
Also, Seattle. I think they have potential to be really, really good. I also, and this is gonna be weird, I feel like Minnesota, honestly, could end up being not that bad.
I think they're the definition of a dark horse team. I actually have on there. If you're on YouTube right now, I actually have on their hoodie. I just got in today. I'm trying to like go around and like collect some of these hoodies, but
absolutely.
I I think GodRx might be the most, at least in Black Ops 4, might have been the most underrated player of the whole year.
Yes, for
like,
sure.
Nobody talked about him. Putting up like 1.15, 1.2 KDs in most of these tournaments.
Yeah.
And he had a great COD champs. Probably why he ended up being on COD Minnesota.
Yeah.
But
I think everyone was of the same mindset when they got announced. Was like, really?
Oh.
Like, what? Because, like, I think everyone, like, I think Silly was, like, the first one announced, right? And then, okay, you got Silly's probably going to come with, this great team, some big names, but altogether, you're kind of scratching your head. But at the same time, Silly is a fantastic player. Assault is a really good player. But then I think you just don't see these guys in the headlines, right?
Well, yeah,
especially
GodRx,
Alex.
Yeah,
Tiny.
that's the thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's definitely a team to watch out for. And then I'm very curious, too, about how Aches can bring LA Guerillas to fruition. I'm very skeptical.
I feel like it's gonna be a classic Aches team where it's like they're gonna get one or two crazy wins out there.
You never know. I mean, Aches is a smart player, but when you look at it, it doesn't seem possible that they can become a top half team.
That team sucks, yeah. Dude. That ain't happening.
I mean, honestly,
wonder what
the team doesn't look like that bad. Like Lacefield was a pretty good sub player. I feel like
he's like on like tier in between pro and AM.
He's been that for the past 2 years.
Exactly. Yeah. We're like, you can point to Black Ops 3. He's like, okay, he was a great player in Black Ops 3, but then doesn't do too much since then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what all of these guys are, though. Like Decimate, Saints, and Aqua.
True.
Like they all, are sitting in that tier.
Well, I mean, Decimate after being everyone was so pumped about Decimate when he first hit the scene.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, last year he was just so average. Mm-hmm. Paired with Aches MV was so average last year. But that squad as a whole, nothing about this team gets me excited. Not one bit.
Literally the only thing you can point to is if somehow Aches can work his magic, be a leader, but I don't think even Aches can save this team. I don't know. I would love to be surprised.
He somehow pulls off the craziest stuff.
So. Exactly. You can't count him out yet. I don't think, but I don't know. I haven't even seen too many stuff from this team. I don't even know if are they streaming. Scrims?
They haven't done much. No. So.
No. But yeah, also FaZe. I think FaZe has potential to be really good, but I also feel like they don't have a leader to keep them on a schedule. I guess
that's the biggest thing is the leadership on that team.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, I think they'll be fine.
I feel like they'll be okay too. I don't know who's going to be the one that steps up.
Really, the most vibe. The vibes on that team just feel right, and
right.
And when you and the talent is definitely there, especially if you're just looking at Black Ops 4. That team's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's a small sample size with the BZ and Simp, and we don't really know how that'll translate to other games.
Yeah.
Professionally, at least.
Yeah.
But those guys were so good in the AM scene on games before this, and they've been so good for a long time just on other games.
Yeah.
So I'm not that worried about them as a whole. And we've seen them already be good in scrims. Mm-hmm. If there's meta changes, how do they adapt to a meta change? That's kind of a question that I've had with teams, and I definitely trust the more veteran teams to adapt, more quickly. Meta changes, but I'm not convinced that we're going to have a meta change throughout the year because it feels like this M4 and the MP5 meta is kind of here to stay.
It's pretty much here to stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my only concern with that team was just the leadership, but maybe these guys are just so young and raw talented that they may not need that veteran leadership. They can do it themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, most teams that are like this, I feel like don't do too great. It's just all young people who some have talent.
We might be underestimating Crowder being there though.
Yeah.
You have Crowder there who's
true.
So comfortable with Priesta. Mm-hmm. We saw what happened when Crowder and Priesta showed up to 100 Thieves last year. that team completely U-turned. I mean, obviously a lot of that had to do with Priest's play in game because he was so good, as a grapple sog. But I mean, Crowder's definitely a good coach. I really respect Crowder as a coach, and I think he brings a lot to that team. And I think when you look at that roster and how they're going to gel together with Crowder as their coach, I really, really like that team. I think long term they're going to be in really good shape to be a good team all year round, all year long.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Maybe you don't need that in-game leadership. Maybe it's just the coach Crowder doing that for them.
That's what I'm saying.
And then just performing.
Yeah, the only difference would be like adjusting in game, like how that works. If they're they head into a game, it's not going their way. Yeah. That's where the in-game leader really has to take charge and make the calls. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see how that plays in tournament. But I'm pretty confident in FaZe to be a top 4 team all year long.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like they're gonna be like a top 5, 6 team for the most part. But I feel like
if they drop out of the top 6.
I feel like near the end they could actually maybe get first at some point. But it just depends how they develop.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Have they confirmed? Can coaches talk in game?
I don't know. I don't think Activision has talked about that yet.
Yeah. Because the only console
in the past they've never been allowed to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know if they go the way of Gears and do that.
Finally allow it. Yeah.
Which would be.
What does Overwatch do? Are coaches allowed to talk?
They talk in between maps.
Okay, that's probably COD's been allowing, so that makes sense then. So they'll probably stick with that.
Yeah.
But.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, is there a team where? How about what's one team that you'd be surprised if they made top 6? Like if they end up finishing top 6? Like what's the team that you'd be most surprised about if they finish top 6?
LA OpTic.
Paris.
If they finish top 6?
Finish top 6.
Most surprised out of any team?
Well, I guess you could say LA Guerillas.
The Guerillas.
No, I think
Both
Guerillas
LA
are better
teams?
than OpTic. No.
Whoa!
I seriously think
Whoa!
Los
You gotta
Angeles
go through
Guerillas
this.
are better than the other Los Angeles OpTic.
The only thing
I think OpTic's
really
bad.
I can't imagine what the payroll difference is between those teams.
The only
ridiculous.
The only way I agree with you there, Rex, is because if they have Dashy and TJ pulling him down with just not wanting to be there, we've already seen Dashy comment on how he did not want to play with his team.
Yeah, that's terrible. And
so
TJ sucks. But all right.
So
I don't know
in this
about that.
game,
So-
he's not good.
You can't make the argument. I mean, there's an argument there to say that the Guerillas would be better just because you have all the if you have average players coming together when you have 5 superstars, 2 of them don't want to be there.
My biggest thing with that roster is can JCap get back to what he was in the past?
I don't think JCap cares anymore, to be honest.
Maybe.
I don't think he cares. I shouldn't say that. I don't think he cares as much as a lot of other players care.
I just want to know how much truth there was to the dash.
He does
stuff.
do worse than TJ. I think he might JCap does not do well in any of their scrims. And I know you're not supposed to use scrims, but he really doesn't do well.
I don't know, man. TJ, I have a lot of faith in TJ to rebound though. I mean,
Maybe
he's a good player in World War II.
Might just because their whole team is in shambles right now, emotionally. I feel feel like that's affecting TJ a lot. Dashy's probably just getting really spiky. He's just kind of mad at everyone. Everything's kind of crumbling in on itself. Yeah. And I think TJ just kind of flounders when things aren't right emotionally, I guess.
Yeah. One point I don't think we brought up that enough is the domination aspect of this game. I think one reason why Empire is playing so well is because of Clay's and Crim's comfort in domination. Yeah. They were so good in Ghosts. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were literally, incredible in Ghosts, both of them.
Do you think Dom will stay the whole time?
See, that's a question in itself. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe they add change it at this point? We're a month and a half away until the event, and then be oh, we're not doing Dom. We're gonna do CTF or something. I bet teams would be really mad, but it's you should have just done this earlier.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why I'd be so surprised, and that's another reason why I think a lot of the teams. That's why FaZe is a weird anomaly, but versus LA OpTic, who, basically none of them were playing in the Ghost era, like at least professionally.
Yeah.
And so like that's why I think a big reason why they've really struggled to adapt is with this new play style, and it's just very unfamiliar.
Yeah.
Even World War II was way different than how this game plays, and like we really haven't seen like World War II talent translate to like Modern Warfare that necessarily.
Yeah.
Black Ops 4 has honestly translated. Black Ops 4 talent has honestly translated better than like World War II talent. So
Except for
No, yeah.
Slasher. So I feel like Slasher has potential to be really good, but like things have to be really set, like a particular way for him to really excel.
We've seen him take command too before, so like maybe he whips these guys into shape.
yeah,
You know, I don't know, but
I don't think
you're
he
right though.
will,
Like
because
I mean,
egos.
yeah,
JCap's really old. Like who like kind of rips on JCap? Like I feel like you're just kind of a weirdo if you do it.
yeah. I mean,
am I lying?
Do you think
like,
Dashy
like
gets
that,
traded?
It kind of makes sense. Like you don't rip on him. Really.
Right. No, I agree.
Or just
I mean,
problems will happen.
Like, do they just make a roster change like throughout this year? Do they trade Dashy for someone else? Like, how do you think that plays out? If let's
They're
just
gonna
say
get rid of
they
TJ.
don't recover, like let's say they finish bottom 4 in this first event in Minnesota in January, like do they make a roster change pretty quick?
Yeah, but who do they switch for? I think they will.
That's what I'm
I
wondering.
I almost feel like 98% sure that they're gonna make some changes.
Absolutely.
Because like it feels like Dashy and TJ are a duo, but maybe that's gonna
like I feel like if they're gonna drop, someone's gonna be Dashy and TJ at the same time.
If they did that, I think they could be killing their team. But like just well, maybe if the vibes somehow change with that, but like
in my
Dashy's
mind,
still
JCap's
really
the
good.
first to go.
I think JCap's first to go too, and I think JCap after that will retire. To be honest,
Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Like I know JCap is probably the least skilled player on this team, right? But if he's willing to cooperate and Dash and TJ aren't, I mean, we saw it.
That's the biggest thing.
We saw it with Gunless in LG last year, right?
Or if like the scheduling problems are just as bad
Yeah.
as like OpTic, as like Krim was saying, where like
Exactly.
Dashy and TJ just aren't on time.
Yeah.
They're not showing up. They're not ready to go.
Yeah.
Like if that just pisses off the veteran
Yeah.
guys like Slasher and JCap.
Yeah. Like you can be the most talented guy, but if you're just like causing horrible vibes, they're not gonna want to play with that. So part of me thinks that they're gonna drop them before JCap, but I can see it too where maybe they want to stack.
But like in my head, like Dashy and TJ are a duo.
Yeah.
And Kenny and Slasher are a duo.
Absolutely.
After
think
100
Kenny
T,
and Slasher
after
are
100
a
T last
duo?
year. Well, I wouldn't say duo, but like they played on 100 T
They're-
last year. They had success on 100
they're
T last
comfortable.
year.
They got comfort in each other's play styles.
And OpTic, Dash and TJ had success last year, even though they didn't,
Mm-hmm.
win after the first event.
Yeah.
But like, then in my mind, JCap's the first to get cut, and
Yeah.
the young guys will blame JCap because he
Yeah.
was worse than them last year.
Absolutely.
It's just all a narrative,
I know.
but I feel like that makes sense.
I know.
No,
It's
it
hard-
does.
yeah.
Like because
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's-
JCap just I don't know. He doesn't care anymore.
I know. It's hard to because like there's
The Oak Boys,
I know.
dude.
There's-
The Oak. Oh, that's what it is. That's.
Let's not talk about the Oak Boys. Right?
I know.
Although
I
I,
was gonna
like
say-
Enable, but
Yeah.
There's just times where you'll see moves happen within the league that make sense, but then there's times where they make no sense, and so things are always happening underneath the surface. We're only seeing Twitter, we're only seeing Reddit, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? They could maybe Slasher's the first to go for some random reason. Probably not, obviously, but
I feel like Slasher's kind of like the catalyst of that team. Is like kind of what they're trying to build around. To be honest,
I
you
mean,
would think so.
who do you think has the biggest contract on that team? Dashy? After Black Ops 4, I feel like he'd get a pretty big bag.
probably
You would think
Dashy.
so. You would think Dashy.
Yeah. So it's like
Dashy's the most toxic on that team.
All right. Well, see, and that's the thing.
I've listened to
Like,
their scrims. He's not a nice person.
Dashy's been also the most he's been most vocal on Twitter too about not wanting to play.
That's like
At
that's
the very
scary.
beginning, at
Like you
least.
don't want to see
Yeah.
that from your teammate.
No.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm wondering. I feel like he might get traded, but I'm not sure what team off the rip would be like. I think people like Dashy.
Yeah.
I think the players like him. They recognize how talented he is.
Mhm.
But maybe he just needs a little bit of a humbling before he gets traded or like finds a new team or like before the team actually gets going.
Yeah.
I like this team so much. Like, imagine if this was a team in Black Ops 4, they'd have been godly.
Absolutely.
This
I-
OpTic team.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not think so?
Yeah.
You don't think they would be good in Black Ops 4?
What
I
are your
mean, I
thoughts
think
there?
they'd be good. I don't think they'd be great. I feel like the issues would still
Really?
be the same.
That's a whole different discussion. But at the end of the day, like,
There's an argument.
yeah, it definitely matters on what like the Immortals wants to build around, and I feel like they want to build around Dashy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it comes off to me is like Dashy's the one that stayed on that team.
Yeah.
And maybe Immortals convinced him to stay, and like that's why he ended up there. It's like the whole report about like Scump choosing to dump the duo after that, and like joining the Huntsman after Hex finally finalized that, and there's just a whole bunch of like back door, like behind the door, closed door dealings there. It was a little bit weird. It was a really weird situation.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of politics, obviously with everything, right? There's bonds that are made that players only want to play with certain players, and so that's why things just get kind of weird with that, which would make more sense if you had these guys playing with these guys, but then they don't want to play with each other. There's just all that kind of stuff. So
well, it looks like a lot of these teams were formed with the like idea in mind that you're trying to prepare like in a way like friends together. Like,
right, well, that's what everyone was
Minnesota's
calling it.
whole
The
thing
friendship
was like
league,
you're just trying to get your
Parasite,
friends there.
CFL.
So the vibes are good.
I think Parasite was the biggest.
Parasite was the advocate of the Friendship League. He hated that. The absolute opponent of the Friendship League.
He was not.
Yeah,
happy with
but I
them.
mean, honestly, you can't deny it because like vibes, I guess, like played a really big part. I think.
Well, I mean, if you're
like,
if
how
you're
tilt proof can you be?
If you're signing long-term contracts, you want to at least not hate your teammates. Like, if there's one thing you don't want is you don't want to hate your teammates. You're signing long-term contracts.
Then you're thinking that with the higher ups in these teams, who are they going to ask of who to sign? Well, it's going to be the starters, right? And the starters are going to recommend their friends, right?
I think there's going to be way more trades than there are going to be like pickups. Like, I'd be surprised if someone goes out there and like picks up Parasite.
Random.
No, there'll definitely be more trades. Like Cellium, I think
it's going to be more
traded.
trades.
I think Cellium will be traded.
Whoa, really?
Really?
Yeah, I think he'll get traded for another young person.
I'd be
maybe
really
a leader. It could be a young person or a leader. I don't know.
I'd be surprised. We probably covered that enough, but quickly, I think we want to talk a little bit about the AM scene and like how that might play out this year. Not necessarily like the in-depth like breakdowns of teams in the AM scene. We'll save that for a later podcast, probably once we start actually seeing them in tournaments.
Yeah.
But like I think we all want to talk about more about the format of the AM scene and how it might play out throughout the season, because it's definitely a weird format right now, and how it might play out is definitely in question, and how it might actually affect the COD scene as a whole. So. I mean, Rex, want to start us off with that?
My big thing with the AM scene is that I feel like if you really want this esport to grow, even be bigger and be taken more seriously, you have to take like the AM scene has to become bigger, because like and I feel like they need to be promoting that way more. Like Overwatch has Overwatch contenders, even though but Overwatch is having the same problem. Nobody's promoting contenders really. Like they're not promoting it themselves. And like teams have bought contenders teams, like amateur players, to play in this thing called contenders.
Yeah.
It's not profitable really. It's just like at this point it's just kind of a scouting ground. COD, I don't know if it's going to be used as a scouting ground, because COD is much more reliant on people being friends. I know.
That's my biggest thing is like in the past, so obviously how that would work is you just have an open bracket team. You have your boys in the open bracket. You network with people, and then eventually you will find your way into a pool play after you finish top 8 or top 4 in a winners in an open bracket. So now when it's not connected at all, the only way to move in to the pro league is by convincing a pro that you should join their roster. And, like, how do you convince a pro that you're going to join your roster unless you've already teamed with them at some point in the past? Yeah. So, like, I think the only way that young guys get pulled in is because a young guy is already on a team, like a guy like Cellium. Yeah. And then Cellium is like, yo, I played with this guy, in World War II. This guy is actually insane, and I'm sure he's going to be a great teammate in Modern Warfare. Like, I think those types of connections is what's going to bring players up, not necessarily, like, winning with your team in the amateur league, which I'm a little bit worried about, because I'd love to see the amateur league be pretty successful. Yeah, last year it was streamed way more than ever before, which was nice. But
kind of going back to what you're saying, Josh, was just like kind of we're probably going to see more young guys, right, get drafted up from the amateur league. So it kind of makes you worried for guys like Parasite.
Like, how is he ever going to get on a team?
I think he's burnt so many bridges, and like
Yeah.
they're kind of going into like he's kind of seen as this old pro, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's a
Yeah.
guy like, like Killa.
Yeah.
Like, who was trying to get onto a team he couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally no point in him trying to grind in this amateur league because there's no way he's going to get pulled up.
Yeah.
Like, before, like, you could literally earn your way in because
Yeah.
of pro points. Now, you have to friend your way in.
Yeah.
And otherwise convince, like, ownership that you're worthy of being brought on. You bring enough value to the team to get brought on.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know how that's going to work.
Mhm.
Like, good luck convincing an owner to then sign you against the team's will. Like, it's not going to happen. Yeah, my biggest worry for, like, the AM scene is, will it feel valuable at all?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it will.
Mhm.
I'm glad they have it, because otherwise it would literally have killed, like, what the foundation of COD, like, the hope to go pro.
Yeah.
COD's been built on the hope that you and your boys can grind it out and make a pool play at some point in your lives. Like, that's like the dream, is to pull a Pristini and Arcides and find your way into an open bracket and then find your way into a pool play.
Yeah.
I'm worried that that's not going to exist anymore and how that's going to affect COD long term.
Just off topic kind of, I think Pharaoh is going to get picked up for a pro team.
Think so?
No doubt.
He's a pretty likely one. He's young.
He's
He's a lot of
really
potential.
good, really good. I don't
That
know,
was
but
probably-
he's really good in this game. Like, he carries his AM team a little bit.
That was probably the biggest shock, honestly, from World War II to Black Ops 4.
That Pharaoh dropped off.
He goes from a top 2 champs finish, and then he's nowhere to be found in Black Ops
Like a
4.
Rookie of the Year candidate to then.
It's just that's wild. So
Struggling.
I think you're right. I mean, I feel like he probably should have been playing.
He's been looking real good. I've been
Yeah.
watching like some of his stuff. Like, he's been looking nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if he gets picked up either. He's definitely someone to watch out for. The most interesting guys are going to be guys that like just turned 18, like have been like grinding in the S&D scene. Like, those are the guys you're going to have to pay attention to now.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be coming up and like there's nothing stopping a pro team from signing them then.
Yeah.
So
is it confirmed that there's no way that these AM teams are going to be playing the pro league teams at all? There's just no way.
no chance.
Wow.
Yeah.
See that I don't know why they don't have the tournaments where they can at least try. Right?
See, in my mind, like, even like in golf, you have like the U.S. Open where anyone in the world could potentially make the U.S. Open.
Mhm.
Like, why can't once a year we have
This-
an open bracket, a true
Big event.
open bracket
Yeah.
tournament?
Yeah.
And
It's a
hopefully
pretty
that's
good
the type of
idea.
stuff
Yeah.
that gets added in as we move along.
Yeah.
And I think you're just trying to give the value of the franchise to the franchise teams who
Yeah.
actually pay that much money.
Yeah.
But hopefully down the road, you got to build a winning roster.
Absolutely.
You know?
I hope there's enough community talk and them responding that we can at least see these once a year tournaments happen. It creates for such such an underdog story that
And like it creates for something for AMPS to actually grind for
Exactly.
that's like tangible growth as
Yeah.
a team. There's the only hope is COD champs where like you're gonna be able to like that's where there's some qualifiers.
Yes. Mhm.
But like throughout the whole season
There's just no
there's
reason to even.
besides winning money, which
Yeah.
is great for AMP teams. I mean,
yeah,
you're
obviously.
trying to make a living out here, but
Yeah.
I definitely will miss not seeing the pool play. We didn't get the majority of Black Ops 4,
Yeah.
which I definitely missed. And like, because it would have been fun to see FaZe Black with Stellium and all those guys play
Yeah.
in the open bracket and then
Mhm.
play through and then play into pool play. Because they would have made pool play
Yeah.
and they would have been a dangerous team in Black Ops 4. So, I'm definitely missing that. I'm expecting that hopefully down the road we'll get something back like that. But yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to talk
Yeah.
about Toronto and their 10-man roster at all?
I mean, if you want to talk about them.
I mean, other than I feel like they don't know who their starters are yet.
Yeah, that was the worry about signing 10 people like that.
That was a very interesting choice.
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe-
like
Go
on
ahead.
COD Esports Pedia, it says that their starters are Methods, Looney, Brack, Lucky, and Metals.
Yeah.
But they have, these 5 other
They
players.
have-
But all their scrims
Yeah.
I've been watching,
Yeah.
they're switching everybody out.
Yeah.
Like each day, it's like
Oh yeah.
a new
You-
Imagine their
17.
Discord calls or like their
Yeah.
TeamSpeak calls.
You almost wonder if they went in with the mindset of let's get 10 guys 10 talented guys, and let's just keep trying every single person.
I hope
Different
they're good. I
combinations.
like their guys.
Yeah.
I'm just not convinced that like it's going to work.
I know.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's gonna work either. But maybe they're like trying to do something with like. I actually I don't know like if it's mode specific or map specific, but like they're not even doing that in scrims. Like they literally just give 5 team. That team just scrims the whole day, and then the next day it's a whole new setup team.
You could
What is
you could
happening?
see some value in that though, with scrimming, with having 10 guys that scrimming against each other
All the time.
all the time.
For S&Ds,
Yep.
yeah.
At the same time, you are mixing 10 guys, and there's going to be some rough.
There's
chemistry.
going to be problems on that team.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
There's no way you have 10 guys who are all similarly
Yeah.
skilled, and then like
Yeah.
people are gonna feel gypped that they're not the starters, and they're gonna
Yeah.
get pissed and start
Absolutely.
hating each other.
Well, yeah.
Like, I feel like it's inevitable.
From what I heard, like the rumor, like, cause I was watching Fellow stream and like they were playing them. The rumor was like they have like 2 separate teams, and like they're kind of like competing against each other.
See, that's what I feel like.
Like an A and a B team.
I'm
is strange.
really interested to see who's gonna be starting in their first map.
Oh, I'm really interested
How they're
to
gonna
see.
like? Are those people gonna stay the starters or?
Dude, that team's imploding. I can't wait for the drama. That's great. I'm hyped.
Or we see 10 guys that love each other and want the best for each other.
This is COD. This is COD. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. But I don't know, man. I think we can move on to the long awaited Mascot Battle Royale.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, all right, break this down for all y'all listeners out there. So, how this is going down? We're all drafting 3 picks, 3 picks each. So not everyone's getting drafted. There are a few weird names where it's like, what even does that mean? So 3 guys aren't getting drafted. But imagine you have the Coliseum in Rome, all right? And you're drafting a team to fight a battle royale to the death inside the Coliseum. Whoever is the last team to survive wins.
Yep.
We're gonna put this poll up on Twitter at the end, and so when this video goes live, you can go and vote on the poll on Twitter. That's who determines the winner.
Yep.
All right. So,
Go ahead.
It's
Nah,
the mascots,
Rex-
right?
yeah, it's the mascot. So like it's not the cities. It's straight up the name of the
Mascot.
team.
Yep.
And with that said, Rex, I'll
First
give you the
pick.
first pick. We're gonna go snake order. So it'll be like, you pick 1, Sam picks 1, I pick 2.
Yeah.
All right, and
Okay.
then Sam picks, Rex picks 2. You know how that
Okay.
goes. So
Yeah.
It's
All right.
weird because we don't really have defined terms for a lot of these teams. Like
I mean, hey,
I think
if I'm
when
picking
you're picking-
subliners, that's a subway, right? I think it's gonna run over a
No.
raven pretty easily.
no.
okay.
I think a subliner is like your sleazy dude lay it in the ground.
No,
like
no,
he's
no,
in
no!
the
I got an
subway.
idea. Subliners. I take subliners. First pick.
Okay. Explain your reasoning. Explain your reasoning.
Yeah, I mean, your reasoning is the way that people will vote for it
Yes,
in the
absolutely.
Twitter
Go
poll.
for it.
So
I can't.
Explain.
I get 3 picks, right?
yeah, you get 3 picks.
Do you
So.
want-
Okay, I'm
you wanna
taking the
explain for
subliners
everyone?
because they're a sub.
No, so you only get 1 pick at a time though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm picking
yeah,
a sub. Wait, hold on. Is it like 3 rounds, or it's like a team
Yeah,
of
we're
3
having
versus
3
another?
rounds.
Actually,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I don't want subliners anymore.
This is what's
Shit,
going on
dude,
here.
this is really hard.
You gotta pick. and
Okay,
then
Seattle
explain
Surge.
right
Seattle
away.
Surge. I take Seattle Surge.
Explain then.
I can't explain it.
You have to explain it.
That's part of the rules. You gotta explain.
Oh, it's just gonna screw me, but because they have Surge, which is electrical power. We'll say
Okay.
that.
Okay. That's it. That's all you're gonna give
Because
us?
in my mind, a surge is like
Well,
a
here's the
wave.
thing. You want to get shocked, Sam? You're gonna get
I
knocked
think,
out.
I think it's like an ocean. It's like the surge, like a surge. of
You're
the
gonna come
coast.
up to me. You're a huntsman. Cool. You're holding a metal
No.
gun. Surge! You're dead, dude.
Oh, who's the
Destroy.
huntsman? Okay, Surge. Okay, that's good. My pick.
You're up.
Electric
Okay.
Surge.
Okay, London Royal Ravens. Explain.
What?
Let me explain.
Yo, I'm taking this home, guys.
Get shocked
let
on my
me-
telephone line, dude.
Let me explain.
You're so done.
While you're all on the ground, who's the one up in the
Oh
air,
my-
surviving until the very end? But
But
what I'm saying is Ravens.
you got the only flying.
I got the only flying one. What are you gonna do?
Okay.
I'm gonna hover around until you're all dead, and then come down and steal the.
Some of these guys have guns.
Okay. How accurate are they? That's for you to decide. I'm just saying Ravens is a good pick. That's my first pick.
All right.
Go ahead, Josh.
While your Royal Ravens are flying around, all right, good luck, okay? Good luck, because your Royal Ravens are going to be dead on the ground here in a second, okay? So, first of all, I'm taking the Huntsman, okay? That's obvious. I got the actual warrior. A Huntsman's actually going to fight. He knows how to fight. Like, what is your water, your surge? It's water, first of all.
It's not
surge.
Water, dude.
It's water!
Electric. Electric surge. A water surge? That doesn't even... Who says I have a water surge. No, it's an electric surge.
It is not an electric surge.
Say water surge.
Oh my...
Say
it's a
water surge.
It is. And, okay, first of all, that's embarrassing, all right? So then you got a bird. And I've got a man with an axe, all right? So I got the Huntsman. That's so easy. That's an obvious win. That should have been a 101. Rex should have picked the Huntsman from the start.
You have one axe, by the way.
Okay, that's fine.
Just one.
That's fine.
Well, maybe two.
Because the axe is about to be, in someone's throat. Okay, so next, I'm taking the Mutineers, okay? I got a gun.
Do you have a gun?
I got a gun.
Well, okay.
Is that in their logo?
Is it like this old school ball barrel, you reload it once at a time kind of gun, or is this like a what kind of mutineer are you?
I got a lot of ammo in my back pocket.
There's no gun in the logo.
But a mutineer.
I think he's assuming mutineers
have guns.
Have some sort of weapon.
Huntsman, you mean?
But
what? No, mutineers.
Well, I mean,
I'm not gonna roll. This is an easy dub. What's up, guys? Vote for me on Twitter.
Are you
at SalvationsElite?
Are you
the poll's right there. Easy win already.
Are you taking a minute and a half to reload each metal ball on your
little
gun?
musket into my...
Yeah.
Are you surrounded by water like most mutineers?
I can survive the water. I'm a mutineer.
No, because I'm electric. Get zapped.
You're not. You're water. I'm surviving.
Even if I'm water, I control what you're standing on or sitting on. You're done for. I tip you over.
This is why I had the Raven that can fly over everything.
I'm shooting you down with my musket. You're dead. You're on the ground.
I think
I have the only counter to your little Raven. Have fun flying. You're dead.
Maybe. Okay. Again, it's up to interpretation. How
Lightning
accurate
strike,
this guy
the Raven's
is.
dead. All right.
That was your body.
Lightning. Okay. Well, we need. Okay. There's so many different things going on right now.
Just vote on Twitter, guys.
Whatever.
All right. Sam's up next.
Okay. So, again, I'm flying with the incognito. With the incognito style here. LA Guerillas. Guerrilla. Warrior. Warfare Warrior. Guerrilla Warrior. Okay.
You know we're in an arena, a desert.
I hear your argument that we're in an arena in a desert, but I have confidence that he's able...
What are they doing?
I have confidence that he's able to find some way into hide. All right?
Okay.
Maybe
right.
Laying in the dirt. Maybe he'll dig a hole.
Maybe he buries himself in the sand.
Wow,
I don't know.
That's some good stuff.
But you have to admit that there is a guerrilla warrior. That he's a very competent person, and you got to imagine he's got some bow and arrow, right? It's up to interpretation. Bow and arrow, hatchet, something. I'm just saying.
Is that hatchet metal? Because I don't know what to tell you.
Bro,
because in their logo, all he's doing is wearing a little hood, looking like a
He's hiding. He's hiding from people. Okay, so I've got my Raven up in the air, right, and dodging every single bullet that a mutineer could ever shoot.
You've got to do with dirt in his eyes.
Then I've got Guerrilla Warrior hiding.
All right.
And so I'm gonna have no one touching me so far. So.
Okay. Oh, I gotta pick two.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking the Subliners for sure. I can power up that baby and run you all over.
See, I don't think it's a trade.
What's a subliner? What would you say a subliner is?
It's like a person on a train.
What?
No,
that's wrong. Incorrect.
It's like your average homeless dude inside the subway in New York.
No, a subliner is a train.
you
Underground
guy
subway
who's on
train.
the
That's a subliner.
It would make sense if it was called the New York Subways.
The actual train is called a subliner.
I think a subliner is like the tunnel. You just
It's not.
an empty tunnel. Good luck. It only
So,
it's on a track.
I guess I gotta...
It's on a track. We'll know when it's coming.
Wait.
Like, how's that gonna scare me?
You're going in a straight line, bro.
You're going in a straight line. You're not just driving this thing around. It's on a track. It's a straight line.
All right. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second here.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So then, I'm going to take
Oh, you're banned. Oh, you're going with the third pick here?
Yeah, my
Or
third
you're
pick.
sticking
No,
with
I'm
Subliners?
keeping the Subliners.
Okay, all right. Have fun with that one.
I'm going with Toronto Ultra.
That was
You know
my
why?
third pick.
Because it's an ultra electric subliner train. You know what that means? It can turn and make twists and turns anywhere it wants to go.
No!
Yep.
The Ultra is just like this thing.
No
It
track.
hovers.
It's an
I
ultra.
was worried
It
about
hovers.
this.
It's an ultra.
I was
Isn't
worried-
that what you would call a subliner? If it's
I was worried
floating,
about
you're
the
like, that's
ultra
pretty
coming
ultra
into play.
subliner.
It's so open to interpretation.
All right.
I don't think it's the stupidest pick ever.
I mean, here's the thing. None of your teams have cohesion. My team, they're all working
Excuse
together.
me.
They got chemistry. It's perfect. It's a
Best of luck with your last pick here.
Boy, I'll be honest. Ultra was my third pick because I like the ambiguity. Can I have a whole empire, or am I having one soldier? Because if
The Empire is the most like.
if I'm taking empire, I'm taking the whole dang empire in the arena.
You're going Star Wars with this thing. You're just taking
Exactly.
the Empire.
You're gonna take the whole empire, Sam?
Absolutely.
Wow, nice.
I think
What
the
you gonna
Dallas
do?
Empire is like the skyline of Dallas.
I'm just
So
gonna
you're like
burn it to the ground with my electricity, man. That's what I'm gonna do.
You have so many different. You have so many different powers.
It's
right now.
electricity. I can do anything with it.
I think you just flooded your train out stuck in
I'm-
the water.
I'm going with the empire. I'm interpreting it in a way where I've got a bunch of soldiers going in.
See, I
Wait,
think
hold on.
somewhere
No.
else.
You can't.
Soldiers!
You can't. That's adding way too much onto it.
It's a whole empire.
You get
No.
empire. That's just
the Empire is like a building.
yeah. Like it's just like the whole ground.
You get a place for the gorilla to hide inside your
that's
building.
what-
Okay,
basically
great.
get-
You know what? That's perfect. Yes, I'll take an empire.
Dude.
I get to look. I get to spread out random buildings around the arena.
Wait, where are your gorillas hiding? Are they like in tunnels and stuff?
I'm not telling you.
They're in the.
I'm not telling you where they're
Wait, are
hiding.
they?
Just trying to-
Because if
you
they're in
just
the
tried to
tunnels,
get-
I got a subliner that's gonna steamroll them. Let's go.
I've got no. Okay, no. It can find Empire's
No.
a building. Empire's a building.
Oh my word!
I'm taking the
You
empire.
can't call it
There's
empire.
buildings.
Who's a building's an empire?
You guys just said it's a building.
There's a lot of options I could go with here. I mean, at least I'm not dropping buildings on my birds. All right. I actually have an army. I have a huntsman and a pirate. All right. So we're
An
in good
army,
shape.
that's two
with a
people.
gun.
Two people.
You have a train. You have a
How
train.
An army is not two people.
I have an army.
You have
Maybe
a,
you could say a legion.
you have a company at best.
No, a legion is more than two people.
A legion, 6,000 people.
Two people
So-
is just like wingman. That's just it.
Okay,
So when
you-
we say legion,
okay, again, you can't. You okay? If I can't have my whole empire of soldiers, you can't have your legion of soldiers. You have to pick a person.
A
within the
legion? see, is a legion like a Roman legion? Is that what we're going with? Because that's pretty sick.
like one person.
Like a centurion.
I think it has to be one person.
I mean, I get a shield though and a sword. Is that what that legion is?
I mean, Sam,
Look it
do you
up.
agree? I think it should be one person.
How about Rokkr? Because that's like the twilight of the gods. Some
I-
people like have the gods inspired twilight. That's how that plays out. I'm kind of supporting my boys, the Rokkrs right now apparently, but like some Gary V action. But all I'm saying is, if I have that Rokkr, I got the god inspired twilight.
So you have a light coming.
I have
On the-
super soldiers. Like this is like
Wait,
Captain America injections. Like that's where this is coming from.
If we're going based off the logo, it looks like your guy is just a Viking.
Yeah.
I think we just gotta go with the Viking. I don't think you get to be a northern deity of light.
What do you mean? I think I'm a northern deity
If
of
I
light.
can't be an empire, you can't be.
You know how they animate that thing? You see that animation? Like it animates with like the light coming out of his eye?
Maybe he's just got sparkly eyes.
I don't know, homie. I think I'm in good shape.
Looks
I'm
like
taking the Rokkr. I think this is up for the people to decide how this goes down. You guys have heard our pitches. You guys vote on Twitter. I'll post this poll on my SalvationsElite page. Rex, what's your team?
So my team, we have the Surge, the Electric Surge. We got the Subliners, and then we also have the Ultra that is putting everything together and making them the best there is.
Say up your squad.
My squad is we got the Raven. Remember, the only
you got a
the
bird.
only one that can fly. It's the only thing that can fly.
You have a
Alright.
crow.
I got a Raven. Let's get it right. I've got.
You can have
a
two if you
gorilla.
want. I don't care. You can have two.
Yeah, give me two. Okay,
All
give
right,
me
you
two.
can have two Ravens.
I've got a guerrilla warfare warrior that is the expert at at camouflage. And then I got the Empire, which I get to pepper the landscape with buildings. And you don't know where he is. And
you get one build, you get one shack, and he's hiding in the shack.
It's not a shack.
He's hiding in the tunnel. Like it's some safe place to be when I have a subway.
All right, so that's your squad, and then my squad is
horribly.
Is the Huntsman, the Mutineers, and the Rokkr. I've got an army flying into this arena. I'm winning the gladiator fight. These guys are all dead. His train is dead. His little pool of water, like, cool. We'll see how this goes. We always going to throw in like a fun little segment to talk and have some fun with it. Probably some who tweeted that action maybe next week.
I like that.
And we'll be talking all about the CoD League. We're getting closer and closer. We're only 6 weeks out or so from the start of the league. And we can't wait. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of the Best of 3 CoD Esports Podcast. If you guys did, leave a rating on Apple Podcasts if you guys are listening there. And drop a comment on YouTube. Share all your thoughts down below if you guys are on YouTube. We appreciate y'all checking out the first episode. And hit us up on Twitter. And we'll be replying to all you guys. So links are in the description on YouTube for Twitters and everything else. And we will see you in the next episode of the Best of 3 podcast. We are out of here.
Bye.